I'm Ann Alexander, a developmental pediatrician, and many people wonder how I came about founding the Wellington Alexander Center. Back in the 1980s, when I was in Gainesville, Florida, there was a tremendous amount of information coming out about the brain and how the brain learned.
Wellington Alexander Center is a neurodevelopmental assessment and intervention center for children, children of all different types, children who have difficulties with language, children who may have sensory motor deficits. And our philosophy is that we want to make sure that we're treating the whole child and getting to the root issue of their problem and treating the foundational pieces that will allow them to grow socially and academically for the rest of their life.
I'm Michelle Drum, and I have two daughters who attended Wellington. They both have dyslexia, and it was an incredible struggle, first of all, to even figure out what was wrong with them, and then finally, after having a real diagnosis, figuring out what to do about it. My younger daughter couldn't even really attend school. She was in second grade and still unable to read. She was already convinced that she was stupid, and I could just see her self-confidence absolutely dwindling. And for her, Wellington was a haven.
Here at the Wellington Alexander Center, it is our goal to follow the kids throughout their academic journey and not just say, okay, you've done the program, you're on your own.
I'm Tasha Batistas, and this is my daughter Gabby, who's 11, almost 12. And we knew at about the age of 4 that Gabby, something was not right. We didn't know exactly what it was. She seemed to be catching on at preschool and so forth. And so we had her tested, and we found that Gabby had dyslexia. And it was pretty severe, and it affected a lot of different parts of her life. It affected her memory, it affected clearly her reading skills, and social interaction and so forth. So we made the decision to take Gabby out of school and bring her to the Wellington Alexander Center. It was absolutely profound, the change in Gabby.
I found here, working as a language clinician, it's been unbelievable watching the kids succeed, and it's just amazing to watch what they can do when they're able to really focus on their needs and on the goals that they have.
Big thing that drew us to Wellington was the fact that they've done a lot of research around where kids are starting at. They go through the program, and then the quantitative data where they finish, and so the research supports what they're doing here. And then on top of that, there's this interest that they take in your child, and it almost becomes part of the family, where we know all of the people who work here. We've had a great time with them, and we continue to see development.
Research supports that intensive intervention is necessary to provide the desired outcomes in young children. Here at the Wellington Alexander Center, we're here to provide that intensive intervention.
Here at the Wellington Alexander Center, it is our goal to follow the kids throughout their academic journey and not just say, okay, you've done the program, you're on your own.
In the past, as a developmental pediatrician, I could diagnose something, but I didn't have any recommendation for good treatments. So it was that diagnose and dismiss kind of feeling that kind of left you feeling blah. So at any rate, we found out that this treatment worked phenomenally well, and that in fact children who had been thought to never be able to learn how to sound out words were sounding out words and recognizing sounds within a matter of weeks.
Kelly was at the Wellington Alexander Center when she was in 8th grade, which I wish that we had had the opportunity to do it when she was much younger because of the difference it made.
Wellington has made a huge difference in my entire life, not only academics, but also just the time it takes me to pleasure read and enjoy doing things that I couldn't do before because I was held back.
I love coming to Wellington.